We made it.
Welcome to a podcast in which two people who do not have formal training in mental health attempt to discuss men's mental health.
That, you know who else didn't have formal training in men's mental health?
Robert Jordan.
And Brandon Sanderson. Welcome back to Wheel Takes, a podcast about climbing up a mountain and then sitting on it. And also about
running
the wheel
up
of time.
that road, running up that hill, then sitting on it.
Sorry.
I've been listening to that song lately, like on
because
repeat.
of the Stranger Things 5 promo push
Yes.
that you have been sucked in by. You are highly susceptible to propaganda. Welcome back to Wheel
I need to
Takes,
see how it ends.
a podcast about the Wheel of Time.
I've been invested for like 10 years now.
I was invested until I wasn't. A series of fantasy novels.
Don't
written-
say that. What if the Duffer Brothers want to hire us someday?
Well, maybe season 5
wanna
will knock
hurt
my
me?
fucking socks off. It could happen.
You want to feel
Here's
how
the
I
thing.
feel.
We're talking about The Wheel of Time, a series of fantasy novels written by Robert Jordan that were completed by Brandon Sanderson. I'm Gus. I've read all of them.
I'm Allie, and I've read almost all of them.
You've read all but 2 of them.
It's crazy.
We've been doing this shit for 6 years.
6 years.
6
it feels
years.
unbelievable.
This podcast...
Over half a decade.
Only... Oh, boy, wow. Yeah. This podcast only contains spoilers for what Allie's already read.
When we
and
started this, we were in our late 20s.
Yeah, practically mid.
I know.
Actually, mid-20s.
I had just turned...
Well, we don't need to go into all that.
Well...
Anyway, this podcast contains spoilers for everything Allie's already read. And again, today, that's everything up to and including the end of The Gathering Storm, which we're going to talk about. We're actually going to finish a book today.
Yeah.
We have been reading The Gathering Storm for so fucking long.
It's true.
There are so many things happened during the course of our reading The Gathering Storm that affected the pace at which we read The Gathering Storm.
Mostly me getting hired to write for Lego.
There were life things. There were also artistic things. There were the show getting canceled things.
Then we had to be depressed for a couple
kind of
months.
baseball batted us to the head. Just like a lot of stuff happened. We slowed down a lot. We got a lot busier. But, you know, I've really missed this.
Yeah.
I really have.
And I think we're like down to basically our last year.
Oh, pfft.
You don't think so?
Are we doing 2 chapters a week?
No.
Then no, it's going to be longer than a year. But
Well, Danny already texted me our plan for what happens when I finish.
You have a plan?
Yeah, we're going to go camping.
Like the Cylons, you have a plan?
Yeah, we're going to go camping.
That's good. We should. Danny, as in Danny and Brett from the Wheel Weaves, you mean?
Yeah, we're going to go glamping, actually.
That makes more sense.
With them.
That makes more sense.
And then you and Brett go have your bromance somewhere, and Danny and I will talk about the books.
Well, Brett and I have been talking about the books for much longer than you.
And you two are obsessed with each other.
Somebody wrote a Reddit post today that was, has the Wheel of Time aged well? And I opened it up, and people were like, it's pretty good. Robert Jordan was incredibly progressive for his time. And yeah, the slogs, and people say, and I was no, I shouldn't comment. I shouldn't say anything. And then I wrote 2 pages of comments.
Gus, if anyone should comment, it's you.
I commented extensively, and the funny thing is, I praised everything, and then I said everything that I was thinking, and then I said, but you should still try him. Because that's weirdly, despite what Reddit thinks about me, that's where I usually end up on these books.
Reddit likes you.
Reddit doesn't like me that much.
Reddit likes you? What do you mean?
Reddit likes me more than they like you, but much of Reddit doesn't like me.
Reddit likes you more than me?
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
they
a
don't like
woman.
us?
But much of Reddit likes us.
Yeah, I was like, most of Reddit likes us. There's just some butthurt people.
I made the mistake of reading a post about Egwene on Reddit yesterday.
That would
Horrible
make me
fucking
cranky.
idea. Horrible fucking idea.
That would make me cranky.
Terrible thing to do.
I don't need those people to like me.
Yeah, I don't need them to like me either. They were like, well, at the end of the day, she's just an ambitious, narcissist. And I was like, what did y'all read? What did y'all...
Because
We're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about any of this. What am I doing? We're here to talk about the Wheel of Time. Specifically, the end of The Gathering Storm. Allie.
Yes.
I know you don't have notes, but here's the thing. When we start up Towers of Midnight, I almost said Midnight Tides, which tells you where my mind is, in a different series sometimes. When we start up Towers of Midnight, notes are going to make a comeback. Notes are coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm declaring it. I didn't consult with you about this at all.
No, you didn't.
This is just my weird ultimatum.
Yeah, you just declared that to me.
Because
and it's
I
true.
love our patrons.
Well,
And I think...
the only reason I didn't take notes is because we were doing a live stream.
I'm not flaming you. I hope
I
it doesn't
feel flamed.
come across. Okay, well, be quenched by the delicious tea you're sipping out of your acorn mug.
It's ginger.
It's an acorn mug.
Gus and I recently, well, I've decided that my new aesthetic, which is really my old aesthetic, but I'm just embracing it now, is whimsy. And Gus and I recently have invented something we have termed mushroom cap time. What that is one day, I don't really know how this started, but Gus and I invented a world in which he is a frog.
I said,
I just want to.
We were lying in bed, overwhelmed by the travails of the world, and
our just relative busyness.
And yeah, well, the travails of the world. And I said, I just want to like crawl under a. This is for me. I hate mushrooms, but I was like, I just want to crawl under a little mushroom cap in the forest with you and hide from the rain.
And you said that I'd be
You'd be a little bird, and I'd be a little frog.
I decided you would be a frog.
Yeah.
And we'd be a bird and a frog, and we'd be in love.
And we'd live under a mushroom cap.
Yes, and our trash can would be a thimble.
Yeah.
And we'd drink out of acorn mugs and like sip tea out of acorn mugs. And we'd have a boat made out of a lily pad with a stick as an oar.
Yeah.
And we came up with all these things. Tree sap would what was it? Oh wait, what was our doorknob? A bead?
Yeah, I think it was a bead or a pinhead.
I think it was a bead.
It might have been a seed because we were sticking to the nature theme.
Seed.
But I guess thimble isn't nature.
Yeah, but the thimble has to be the trash can.
Yeah, it's too perfect.
It's too perfect.
Listen.
And so then eventually I went out and I got us mugs in the shape of acorns so that we could drink tea out of acorn mugs. And I thought I was being all cute in preparation for this recording. And I was making us tea to put in our acorn mugs. But Gus declined the tea.
Here's the problem. It's 11:30 p.m. And if I drink tea right now, I'm going to fall the fuck asleep because I was at the gym for 2.5 hours today. And I am tired and sore, but I'm also really fucking excited to talk about this particular chapter because this is a particular chapter that I've been looking forward to talking about for a very long time.
Rand just did his own version of mushroom cap time.
Rand did
Mountaintop
independent
time.
mushroom cap time where he speed ran therapy. Now here's what's funny. This is somewhat of a controversial chapter to some people in the discussion sphere. When you read it for the first time, you simply cry, and that's what I did, and I loved it. And that's what you did, and you loved it. You cried, you loved it. Am I wrong?
No.
It's a beautiful chapter. It's an incredible pinnacle, literally and also from, a literary perspective, to Rand's journey so far. It's everything you could ever hope for, ever ask for, and adore in many ways. And it's long overdue, right?
Here's the thing about this chapter. It's great. I love it. And it's about time that Rand had some kind of reckoning with his mental health. My thing about it is I get people's critique that it's like this man just has a breakthrough out of nowhere. However, I don't think it's fully out of nowhere. He's been struggling against this wall for a while. And the thing about mental health is like you kind of struggle against the same problem for a while and then like sometimes the right thing gets said at the right time and suddenly you're like, well, I don't know how that just fixed me. It does happen.
Yeah, it
and
really does.
And sometimes also you can do something in response to a trauma response that is so fucking dumb or like upsetting that you have to look at your life and look at your choices and make new ones. And almost killing your beloved pappy is potentially one of those things.
No, but Al, you know what's even more moving than that?
Yeah.
Going to Shan Chan held lands and going, my God.
Oh, that wasn't it.
The people.
No, I refuse to believe that was it.
The people are happy.
No, that wasn't it.
The trains run on time.
That wasn't it.
They're thriving.
I choose to ignore that chapter ever happened.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Yeah, I don't believe that actually happened, and that was all a fever dream meant to make me angry.
Yeah. Now, Any other initial thoughts on this? Because I installed a whole new operating system on my e-reader, and the book is taking a really long time to load because I've never actually opened it in the new operating system. So we need to banter while this buffers.
Petey's really cute right now.
No, but about the book. It's a chapter that we've been coming towards for a long time.
Okay, I can, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the long and the short of it, is that I'm just like, I feel like I guess this is also sort of part of why we've been a little more sporadic. I had a very like spiritual year where all of a sudden I'm getting these like incredible periods of like insane growth just month to month. Like where I'm like, I have to sit with that for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden I have a new breakthrough, and then I have to sit with that for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like all these walls I've been running up against for decades are coming down in the most dramatic, wild way possible. And so it's weird to be reading this chapter right now because I'm like, kind of same, bro.
A little bit.
Like,
right?
I'm sitting here going, what if I just cured my attachment style and then it happens? And I'm like, have you ever just woken up and been like, I'm secure today, and then it just kind of happens?
Well, me, yes.
Well, yeah, you were born secure, but
Yeah.
like you had a very well-rounded childhood. I did not. So I really have struggled with like things like my attachment style and things like being alive. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it had been like, I've been drastically changing for like a long time now, particularly in the past 5 years, 6 years. But all of a sudden, like these things that I had been wrestling with and was just like, that's just going to be my whole life, I've just been fixing it. And it's like, that's crazy. And because my nervous system is getting fixed, I'm less ill.
It's true. And you know, it's funny because, and this ties into Rand. We're tying this into Rand. This is
Obviously,
interesting.
I'm not just here to talk about my mental health for my mental health.
This is interesting for you because also like you've started acting again. We've talked about that on the podcast.
It's been very exciting.
You've found a whole new IRL in real life community of friends that you didn't have before.
Yeah, they are amazing.
You've undergone an enormous amount of very gradual and then sudden growth.
Yes.
Right? In a lot of ways.
Yes.
And I think that's the interesting thing about Rand in this chapter and Rand's journey in this chapter is Rand has deliberately done zero growth. He's actively avoided growing in every possible way.
And that can happen.
Until this chapter. And then I don't know if this is something we can ascribe to Viren or if this is just sort of the he needed to do this or the shock to the system.
There's a soul shock that occurs when you do something really heinous.
Yeah.
That makes you look at your life and look at your choices. I do not believe that it is the Sean Chan thing. I think it is the
I was mostly being facetious
nearly
when I
killing
said that.
Tam thing. That can cause you to do a lot of deep inner reflection, because sometimes the shitty things we do make us change because we're like, well, I don't want to be that. I don't like that. I don't like how that made me feel. And it's unfortunate that it took that to make me change, but thank God I'm doing it now and not when I got even worse.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes stuff happens to us that makes us change. And then certainly that has happened to me. And sometimes we do things that make us change. And some people never change. And that's disappointing. But, you know, I have changed what feels like a fuckload this past year.
You have.
And
it's interesting because I sometimes ask you, are you tired of having breakthroughs?
Well,
are you sick of this yet?
I have to occasionally take breaks from breakthroughs, and I'm doing that this month, where I have to sit with what I have, because it gets addictive. Actually, my therapist told me to get a hobby the other day.
That's
no,
true.
This was so funny. I texted him, and I was like, I'm reading right now Introduction to Internal Family Systems. I have on deck The Body Keeps Score. I know it's controversial, but I'm reading it for reasons. And also Adult Children of Emotionally Mature Parents. And I'm doing a shadow work journal. And I was like, are there any other books that I should be considering picking up right now? And he texted me back and he goes, you know, sometimes he's known me for a really long time. He goes, you know, sometimes when we're learning detachment, because that's a big part of what I'm learning. He's like, when we're learning detachment, we become attached to the goal of detachment. And that can be its own form of attachment. We can become overly attached to spiritual growth. And he goes, so, you know, perhaps a hike or time spent in nature or with your dog would be appropriate. And I was literally like, did you just fucking tell me to get a hobby?
Or he told you, he said, to paraphrase a certain author, young lady, you are entirely too obsessed and are desperately in need of some sort of life. Now I'm being facetious. That's just the Robert Jordan thing.
It is true. That's basically
but
what
it
he
is
said,
kind of what he said.
Well,
and you know what else is something that we use as a touchstone?
yeah.
The Wheel of Time.
Well, this is relevant because having those walls there is something you become so accustomed to, and you just are like, well, I guess this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And then they come down.
Which Rand, that's Rand,
yes,
right? Rand was ready for this to be.
I'm talking about this in reference to Rand.
I know. I'm
just being clear.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this in reference to Rand, but also myself. It's just funny how sometimes the books echo what we're dealing with in real life.
The books consistently echo what we're dealing with.
It's kind of
real
weird.
Life. I'll be super real. Coming up to not Demise Wells, coming up to fucking Natron's Barrow, I was like, I swear to fucking God, if like a war breaks out right before Natron's Barrow chapter, I'm going to lose my mind. So, you know.
Yeah.
That was stressful for me
yeah,
personally as somebody with anxiety.
You're like, oh no.
But yeah, Rand also
it's like we're in Jumanji.
I was listening today. I've been listening to because I've been nostalgic for the podcast. I was listening to our Knife of Dreams episodes in reverse order. And we were talking, I was listening today because
we're aging backwards.
Yeah. When I'm at the gym, sometimes I listen to, oh my God, I just want to open the table of contents. Why does it have to fucking look? I'm sorry. The ebook. Okay.
Why do you have Jade City?
Because I need to dramatically close a physical book when we're done with this episode, and I can't find Gathering Storm. So I'm going to close Jade City, and I was going to trick the listeners into thinking that it was Gathering Storm. But you have now blown that illusion directly out of the water.
I just got excited that you were reading Jade City.
I can't read Jade City yet. You want a podcast about it.
I know.
And we will someday.
But yeah, so I was reading this and I was very touched by it because I was like, I identify a lot with this, where suddenly you just have this really big level up and you just feel it happen and you just go, oh, I'm putting that wound down actually. And it's not like the wound is gone. It's just, it doesn't impact you the same way anymore. And it's been really great. But my therapist did tell me to get a hobby. But yeah, like, so sometimes when you experience enough of a level up, you kind of have to sit with it for a little while before you can move on to the next level up, because there is such a thing as too much too fast. And you can become, and this has happened to me a couple times, a little untethered because I like dealt with my workaholic tendencies. And then I had to rewire how my fucking brain works, because when fear was no longer as much of a motivator to work, I had to figure out what I was actually passionate about.
Yeah, that's true. That did happen.
Yeah.
So is Rand now going to have to take a couple of books to consider?
Well, we only have 2 books
settle
left.
in.
I don't think he has time.
No, he probably doesn't.
We kind of had a lot of time to settle in that he could have taken, and didn't. And now there's time's ticking.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about this earlier today. I was talking about Knife of Dreams, by the way, because we were talking about the chapter where Rand lost his hand.
Yes.
And how all he does in that chapter is just go, nope, not thinking about it, not dealing with it, nope.
Which is, what you resist persists. That's one of the things I've learned this year.
But
So the only way out is through.
something that occurred to me earlier today is of our three main boys, the only one who actually gets to go on like his own developmental journey is Perrin.
You know what's funny about the only way out is through?
Yes, and then I want to finish this thought. Go ahead.
So this was told to me by a mentor. And I was like, that was such a profound thing that he said to me. Because we were talking about emotions, and he goes, Ali, the only way out is through. And we were talking about it in relation to acting. Because if you fight the emotion in a scene and you don't experience the full emotions, you're going to have to deal with them afterward. So it's like, don't resist the emotion, just go through it. And then you won't have to deal with it afterward. Because it will be done. But he said that to me, and then later I went up to him and I was like, that was really profound for me, because like I've realized that that's true about like all feelings and stuff. And he goes, yeah, I actually hate that I said that to you, because he used to be a Scientologist, and then like, of course, once they realized it was a cult, they left, and then had whole things happen. But he goes, I hate that I said that to you, because it's a Scientology quote. And I was like, hey, they had to have had some bangers for you to join, right? Like, some of the things that they said have to have been true. Otherwise, you would have been like, this is bullshit.
But going back to what I was saying.
Sorry.
A second. No, it's okay.
I was waiting for your thing to open.
No, I know. But I was making a point about the three boys I realized earlier today. Rand doesn't get to go on his own journey. Because Lews Therin shows up. And so he doesn't actually get to like do his own thing. He has to deal with another guy in his head. So he fundamentally changes in a lot of ways because he's got direct interference. Matt also kind of changes identity after he meets the Finn.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this when I was listening to the one of the Matt and Tuon chapters at the end of Knife of Dreams. Matt really kind of stops having his own thing going on because he becomes Mr. Battleman.
Oh, maybe once he loses the eye.
He's still... we'll see. He's still his same character, but much of what, propelled him, much of his momentum is replaced with, like, I'm good at battles and this is my spiel now. Perrin is the only guy who really remains the same from beginning to end.
I mean, he's like a wolf man.
He's wolf man, but Robert Jordan threw that in the trash after book 4.
Yeah, but I feel like we're going to pick that back up again.
Sure, but...
Because we got 2 books
probably,
left.
But not as far as Robert Jordan gave a fuck about.
Wolf King. Okay, wait. Here's the thing. I feel like we're going to get a lot more live reaction chapters.
We're going to have quite a few.
In the next few books.
We're going to have quite a few.
Because I'm sure that things are going to be ramping up.
We're going to have quite a few. Hey, look, shit loaded. We're going to take an ad break, and then we will get into it. Welcome back. Chapter 50, Veins of Gold. There's the logo, Allie. What is it?
Dragon box.
Dragon box. What just happened? Where'd we leave off?
Rand almost killed his father.
And then something else happened.
No, I don't accept that.
Wind blew around Rand as he sat at the top of the world. His weaving of air and fire had melted away the snow around him, exposing a jagged gray-black tip of rock about 3 paces wide. The peak was like a broken fingernail jutting into the sky, and Rand sat atop it. As far as he could tell, it was the very tip of Dragonmount. Perhaps the highest... I was going to say that. Perhaps the highest point in the world. He sat upon his small outcropping, the access key sitting on the rock in front of him. The air was thin here, and he'd had trouble breathing until he'd found a way to weave air so that it compressed slightly around him. Like the weave that warmed him, he wasn't certain how he'd done it. What's he up to?
He's just sitting, contemplating.
Yeah.
He's having man feelings.
Yeah.
When men have feelings, they sit with them. Or they punch a wall. Those are the 2 acceptable man expressions of feeling.
Oh, come on now.
What's the third? Give me a third.
Healthy expressions of feelings?
Mm-hmm.
We're allowed to have healthy expressions of... Yeah.
You should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I was just being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, men should have the full range of their feelings.
So Rand's chilling on top of a volcano. And How's that going for him as a guy? Pretty bad. That's right. How long's he been there?
Well, a while.
Fucking long time. He'd been there for hours, and yet he did not feel tired. He stared at the Terangrial, thinking, what was he? What was the dragon reborn? A symbol? A sacrifice? A sword meant to destroy? A sheltering hand meant to protect? A puppet playing a part over and over again? He was angry. Angry at the world, angry at the pattern, angry at the creator for leaving humans to fight against the Dark One with no direction. What right did any of them have to demand Rand's life of him? Well, Rand had offered that life to him. It had taken him a great while to accept his death, but he had made his peace. Wasn't that enough? Did he have to be in pain until the end? He'd thought that if he made himself hard enough, it would take away the pain. If he couldn't feel, then he wouldn't hurt. The wounds in his side pulsed in agony. For a time, he'd been able to forget them, but the deaths he'd caused rubbed his soul raw. That list, starting with Moiraine, everything had begun to go wrong at her death. Before that, he'd still had hope. Before that, he'd never been put in a box.
I mean, that's true. Nobody puts Rand in a box. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really appreciate her when she was around.
He didn't.
When they finally go rescue her, I hope that that will change. And if it doesn't, then I will scream for 18 years.
There's another thing in this chapter that I think is important to talk about, which is kind of like this is the epitome of duty is heavier than a mountain. Death is lighter than a feather. Is it not?
Yeah.
Because what is Rand really reflecting on? Like, why is he here? What is the whole impetus behind this?
Maybe you should stop just kind of killing people just 'cause.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Oh, wait.
I mean, what is really the driving, motivating factor behind his stress, behind his decline?
Not really sure what, like, that he's not able to really trust anyone.
He understood what would be required of him, and he'd changed in the ways he thought he needed. Those changes were to keep him from being overwhelmed. Die to protect people he didn't know? Chosen to save mankind? Chosen to force the kingdoms of the world to unite behind him, destroying those who refused to listen? Chosen to cause the deaths of thousands who fought in his name, to hold those souls upon his shoulders, a weight that must be borne. What man could do these things and remain sane? So really, it's less about the individual actions he's taken. It's less about the fact that he can't trust people. It's the fact that he never fucking wanted any of this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing that, you know, when people watch the show, they talk about like, oh, Rand, you know, season 1, I don't know, he's like good friend boy, whatever. And that's all he ever wanted to be.
Yeah.
Was good friend boy, and now here he is.
Well, it occurs to me, you know, I was listening to this talk about this very extraordinary person, and somebody asked, like, what do you think is so extraordinary about these people that they're able to do this kind of incredible stuff, like save lives and things like that? And the writer of the book, who, you know, the nonfiction book, was like, I actually think it's very dangerous to try to say that these people were extraordinary. I think they were ordinary people who did extraordinary things.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the time comes for us to do extraordinary things, many of us are a lot more capable than we think we are.
Well, yeah, but this is less about his ability to do things and more about the fact that he's being forced into this position.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's life in some ways. Like, when we are faced with things that feel so big and out of our control, right? You kind of, like, control is an illusion. Nobody has control. We're all kind of thrust into whatever it is that we are given.
Well, and Rand least of all.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say he has any more or less control than the peasant starving on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's just a different kind of control.
Yeah.
Or lack of.
I think it's...
It's both.
When you get into Taviran, though, things get kind of weird.
When you get into it's still both. It's a balance. It's both things. Both things. Two things can be true.
Yeah.
He has more control than the peasant on the side of the road, and less.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of the position that we're all in some way, shape, or form, where we feel like we are in times, circumstances, whatever, outside of our control that we never wanted or asked for, and then you have to either rise to the occasion or not.
Yeah.
And most of us, most of the time, get up and try to rise to the occasion.
Well, yeah. I mean, but this is Rand's... This is what he's struggling with this chapter, is like, why bother?
I mean, I think that's a really legitimate question.
Yeah. And for him, it's like, why bother? Everybody hates me. I keep fucking up.
Well, that's not true, because if everybody hated you, they wouldn't show up for you the way that they do.
Yeah, but they have, tried to kill him, and he feels like he's failing
everybody?
No, but there are people who have tried to kill him.
Well, yeah.
Even people on his team. And he feels like he's failing everybody because of Era Daman. He's left a country to starve. He's not looking at any of his successes.
Well, yeah, most of us will only look at our failures and not our successes.
Yeah.
But, I don't think Min hates him.
No, but he thinks Min hates him.
Well, I don't think Elaine hates him. I don't think Perrin or Matt or Nynaeve or Egwene or Tam, who was just there for him, hate him.
No, just what I want to emphasize here is really the much to me of where this comes from for Rand is as a result of his own actions of pushing everyone away and forcing all of those he cares about away from him, and then keeping his enemies close to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it turns out avoidant attachment is not a great style. Neither is anxious attachment.
I don't think Rand is avoidantly attached. I think Rand...
Yes, when you push people who love you away from you,
why
that's
is
avoidant.
he doing that?
Because of trauma. That's why avoidant attachment exists.
No. Why, in his own words...
Because he thinks that he's protecting them.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where avoidant attachment comes from.
Okay.
You think you're protecting yourself and them.
Right, but in his case, it's because people keep trying to kill him.
Avoidant attachment can be caused by all kinds of trauma.
Fair enough. I suppose that's fair. But he'd failed. He hadn't been able to stamp his feelings out. There's where you went wrong, King. You can't do that.
What you resist persists.
The voice inside had been so small, but it had pricked at him like a needle, making the smallest of holes in his heart. Even the smallest of holes would let the blood leak free. Those holes would bleed him dry.
No. You have to be able to sit with your feelings.
Right, that's what he's realizing.
And observe them and allow them to be.
The quiet voice was gone now. It had vanished when he'd thrown Tam to the floor and nearly killed him. Without that voice, did Rand dare continue? If it was the last remnant of the old Rand, the Rand who had believed he knew what was right and what was wrong, then what did its silence mean? Rand picked up the access key and stood up, boots scraping stone. It was midday, though the sun still lay hidden behind the clouds. Below, he could see hills and forests, lakes and villages. And what if I don't want the pattern to continue? He bellowed.
That's a good question.
He stepped forward, right to the edge of the rock, clutching the access key to his chest. We live the same lives, he yelled at them. Over and over and over, we make the same mistakes. Kingdoms do the same stupid things. Rulers fail their people time and time again. Men continue to hurt and hate and die and kill. This is extremely fucking realistic and relatable. Winds buffeted him, whipping at his brown cloak and his fine Tyran trousers. But his words carried, echoing across the broken rocks of Dragonmount. What if I think it's all meaningless? He demanded with the loud voice of a king. What if I don't want it to keep turning? We live our lives by the blood of others, and those others become forgotten. What good is it if everything we know will fade? Great deeds or great tragedies neither means anything. They'll become legends, then those legends will be forgotten, then it'll start all over again.
But have you ever seen a very sleepy puppy?
Which is actually what he ends up on.
Yeah.
That is ultimately where he lands.
Yes. Have you ever seen a very sleepy puppy?
There's another book.
That's when you know it's worth it.
Series. I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a very powerful character who is undergoing a similar thing where she's like, what if I just let it all end? What if I just let it all get destroyed? Why does it really matter? And then somebody says, hey, there's a dog in the car with us. And she goes, oh, shit.
Yeah, look at him. He's a very sleepy puppy.
Now, you said, I'm going to keep reading in a minute because I think that the dialogue in here merits being read. You said a long time ago, if Rand realizes that he's going to be a father and that's what tears him out of it and makes him feel better, you would throw the book into the sun.
Well, it wasn't that.
But my question to you, to elucidate, is why is this better?
Because he is realizing that human life is valuable, independent. It's kind of like, okay, when men talk about how you should treat women well because they're somebody's daughter or they're somebody's wife. And you're like, how about they're somebody?
How about just cuz?
How about they're a person? Right? It's like Rand deciding to reinvest in the world because he is about to be a parent and like there will be like people he's related to in the world, as opposed to, how about the fact that there are children everywhere?
Yeah.
How about that? How about the fact that there are people everywhere who deserve to be alive?
It's because he's not explicitly personalizing it and making it about himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about the whole of human existence, and that's why it's better.
What if I think it's all meaningless? He demanded. I already read that, didn't I?
And then we see a sleepy puppy.
The access key began to glow in his hands. The clouds above seemed to grow darker. Rand's anger beat in rhythm with his heart, demanding to be set free. What if he is right? Rand bellowed. What if it's better for this all to end? What if the light was a lie all along, and this is all just a punishment? We live again and again, growing feeble, dying, trapped forever. We are to be tortured for all time. Power flooded into Rand like surging waves filling a new ocean. He came to life, glorying in Sidene, not caring that the display must be brilliantly visible to men everywhere who could channel. He felt himself alight with the power, like a sun to the world below. None of this matters!
So everything matters.
So everything matters. This is why everything everywhere all at once is a good movie.
The duality of human existence. You have to understand that detachment means detachment from results, not a detachment from all things.
Right. You know, the other thing that he brings up that I kind of enjoy at the beginning of this chapter is he's like, so the Dark One's fucking around, sticking his fingers up everybody's ass, putting his thumbs in all the pies.
What?
You know, just being
his fingers in asses and pies? Good Lord.
Fingers
in
asses, thumbs and pies.
Well, what are thumbs if not fingers?
Cross-contamination.
Yeah, that's disgusting, Gus.
Decrepit. But meanwhile, the creator just kind of fucked off. And Rand's kind of pissed about that.
Yeah.
Which to me also feels like it could be, you know, like it's a common thing. People go like, people who are religious or who sometimes lose religion or whatnot will be like, okay, how can you have God in a world where there is such suffering? And that's what Rand is doing. And I think it is important to remember that Brandon had a hand in writing this chapter, and Brandon is very religious.
Yes.
You know, I think it's an interesting examination. I don't really know too much about Robert Jordan's relationship to faith. But I think like that's an important element of this chapter. Like this is a reckoning that a lot of people go through.
Well, yeah, I went through it this year with you know, I think it's impossible as a person coming into faith or having spirituality to not ask yourself that question. And I think it's this, I think the idea of everything happens for a reason is a gross oversimplification of a quite profound truth, which is that you can find meaning in anything, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Like, suffering exists and joy exists, and the why of them is kind of irrelevant. And what really matters is the what are we going to do with that? Are we going to perpetuate further suffering? Or are we going to are we going to make our hearts harden and perpetuate further suffering or become apathetic towards human suffering? Or are we going to soften our hearts even further and try to make things better? And you should always pick that one, because the only way anything gets better is through the attempt.
He closed his eyes, drawing in more and more power, feeling as he had only twice before. Once when he had cleansed Sidene. Once when he had created this mountain. Then he drew in more. He knew that much power would destroy him. He had stopped caring. Fury that had been building in him for 2 years finally boiled free, unleashed at long last. He spread his arms out wide, access key in his hand. Lews Therin had been right to kill himself and create Dragonmount.
Damn.
Only he hadn't gone far enough.
Damn.
Rand could remember that day. The smoke, the rumbling, the sharp pains of a healing bringing him back to lucidity as he lay in a broken palace. But those pains had paled compared with the agony of realization. Agony from seeing the beautiful walls scarred and broken. From seeing the piles of familiar corpses tossed to the floor like discarded rags. From seeing Ilyena a short distance away, her golden hair spread out on the ground around her. Fuck my kids, though. He could feel
Truly.
the palace around him
I was thinking the same
from
thing.
the earth's own sobs. Or was that Dragonmount? Throbbing from the immense power. Throbbing is a terrible word to give to a mountain, Brandon. I'm really sorry. Throbbing from the immense power he had drawn into himself.
He's like, God, I need to figure out a way to make this mountain move in a way that's not sexual.
Not dickish. How about throbbing? He could smell the air.
That's the one.
Thick with blood and soot and death and pain. Or was that just the scent of a dying world spread before him? The winds began to whip at him, spinning. Enormous clouds above twisting upon themselves like ancient leviathans passing in the profound black deep. Lews Therin had made a mistake. He had died, but had left the world alive, wounded, limping forward. He'd let the wheel of time keep turning, rotating, rotting, and bringing him back around again. He could not escape it, not without ending everything. Why? Rand whispered to the twisting winds around him. The power coming to him through the access key was greater than he'd held when cleansing Sidene, perhaps greater than any man had ever held, great enough to unravel the pattern itself and bring final peace. Why do we have to do this again? He whispered. I have already failed. She is dead by my hand. Why must you make me live it again? Lightning cracked above. I don't mean to just read all of this, but this chapter fucks.
Fucks. Keep going.
Thunder buffeting him. Rand closed his eyes, perched above a drop that plummeted thousands of feet downward in the middle of a tempest of icy wind. Through his eyelids he could sense the blazing light of the access key. The power he held inside dwarfed that light. He was the sun. He was fire. He was life and death. Why? Why must they do this over and over? The world could give him no answers. He would end it. End it all, and let men rest, finally, from their suffering. Stop them from having to live over and over again. Why? Why had the Creator done this to them? Why? Why do we live again? Lews Therin asked, suddenly. His voice was crisp and distinct. Yes, Rand said, pleading. Tell me, why? Maybe... Lews Therin said, shockingly lucid, not a hint of madness to him. He spoke softly, reverently. Why? Could it be... Maybe it's so that we can have a second chance. Rand froze. The winds blew against him, but he could not be moved by them. The power hesitated inside him like the headsman's axe held quivering above the criminal's neck. You may not have a choice about which duties are given you, Tam's voice, just a memory said in his mind, but you can choose why you'll fulfill them.
Like I said, you can create meaning out of anything.
Why, Rand? Why do you go to battle? What is the point? Why? All was still. Even with the tempest, the winds, the crashes of thunder, all was still. Why? Rand thought with wonder. Because each time we live, we get to love again. Ah, she's crying. I got her. I got her. I got her. I got her. I got her.
Shut the fuck up.
I did it. I got her. I got her, everybody.
I'm going to sit with the feeling.
That was the answer. It all swept over him, lives lived, mistakes made, love changing, everything. He saw the entire world in his mind's eye, lit by the glow in his hand. He remembered lives, hundreds of them, thousands of them, stretching to infinity. He remembered love and peace and joy and hope. Within that moment, something amazing occurred to him. If I live again, then she might as well. That's why he fought. That's why he lived again. And that was the answer to Tam's question. I fight because last time I failed. I fight because I want to fix what I did wrong. I want to do it right this time. The power within him reached a crescendo, and he turned it upon itself, drove it through the access key. The Terangrial was connected to a much greater force, a massive Sangreal to the south, built to stop the Dark One. Too powerful, some had said, too powerful ever to use, too frightening. Rand used its own power upon it, crushing the distant globe, shattering it, as if in the grip of a giant's hands. The Choidenkal exploded. The power winked out. The tempest ended, and Rand opened his eyes. For the first time, in a very long while. He knew, somehow, that he would never again hear Lews Therin's voice in his head, for they were not two men, and never had been. He regarded the world beneath him. The clouds above had finally broken, if only just above him. The gloom dispersed, allowing him to see the sun hanging just above. Rand looked up at it. Then he smiled. Finally, he let out a deep-throated laugh. True and pure. It had been far too long. Okay, I read the whole chapter. Anything we want to talk about in here? Because I think that that's kind of one of the most beautiful pieces of writing in the series so far.
I mean, I don't think I have anything additional to add. Because I think I said a lot of what I wanted to say at the top while you were loading the book. But yeah, I think, I mean, just to circle back on what I was saying, that you can create meaning in anything.
Yeah.
You don't have control over very much in the world, but what you do have control over is what we do in response.
Yeah.
And even then, not always. But when you can learn some level of emotional regulation skills, which I think every adult should do, you figure out how to, and that's not the absence of emotion, that's figuring out how to process your emotions in healthy ways rather than take things out on people. You can figure out how to take the things that life throws at you and make beautiful things happen out of even the ugliest of things.
Yeah. You know, there's a there's a meme. You know the meme of the two guys on the bus, and the one is looking at the cliffside and the other one is looking out over the drop from the cliff? Mm-hmm. And the guy looking at the cliff is like really sad, and the guy looking out over the edge is really happy. You've seen this template? Mm-mm. No, you haven't seen it?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up for you really quick. It's this.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this where the sad guy, over his head, it says, nothing matters. And the happy guy, over his head, it says, nothing matters.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Rand right now. A little bit. I mean, it's more complex than that with Rand. Because he's going, I've lost so much, I've hurt so many people, I've fucked up so many times. But the benefit of a provably infinite cycling universe is maybe I can do it better next time.
Yeah.
You get as many chances as you want. And
you
I
get
think
to
that's
run
kinda
at this
beautiful.
as many times as you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I joked with you recently, but I kind of think it's true that there's a certain extent to which it's almost like it's a video game.
Rand's, yeah.
Just being alive. Where I'm like, I think your soul has been to Earth many, many times.
If we're going with the reincarnation theory?
Which I think, there's some scientific evidence to suggest that it might be real. There's just also some scientific principles, I think, make it make sense. But I'm like, I think your soul was like, I'm going to just keep running at this Earth thing until I perfect it, And my soul's been like, wee, I'm going to try a little bit of everything, see what happens.
Well, but this is the beautiful thing, too, about Rand. Because he feels so trapped, he feels so forced to follow this one path. Uh-huh. And he keeps fucking it up.
Yeah.
But he gets another chance to try again.
Yeah, you always get another chance.
And he gets to give Ilyena a little kiss on the forehead. Fuck his kids, though.
Fuck his kids.
That is one of my favorite running bits, is that Lews Theron doesn't give a shit about his
about
kids.
those kids, yeah. Fuck them kids.
Well, you know what? That being said, that's the end of Chapter 50. The epilogue, Allie.
Oh?
Bathed in light.
I forgot about the epilogue.
That's the chapter logo. What is it?
It's a wheel.
It's the wheel. Please book. Please rotate. I swear to fuck. You know, this shit usually works. I guess this book is just too big because it's
pretty
ebook.
big.
Luckily, I also have it on my phone. So we're just going to read it there. Who's the point of view?
I don't know.
It's Egwene.
Oh, there you go.
Egwene worked by the light of 2 bronze lamps. They were shaped like women holding their hands into the air, a burst of flame appearing in each set of palms. The calm yellow light reflected on the curves of their hands, arms, and faces. Were they symbols of the White Tower and the flame of Tarvalon? Or were they instead depictions of an Aes Sedai weaving fire? Perhaps they were simply relics of a previous Amerlin's taste. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What's she up to?
Read.
Is she reading?
I don't know. What is she doing? I forget.
What did she recently accomplish?
Well, becoming Amerlin's
Doppelpoping. She's doppelpoping hard. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she's getting her office set up.
Enjoy the papistry.
Yeah. How do Ramonda and Lelaine feel about her now?
Deferential.
They both kind of fucking hate her a little bit.
Well, there you go.
They're both kind of giving her shit. They're both kind of giving her guff.
Well, I mean, they're annoying as fuck,
yeah,
so.
Yeah. For now, she had her hands full. She shook her head, turning over the pages of Silviana's report. The woman was proving to be an effective keeper indeed, far more skilled than Shiriam had ever been. Then again, Shiriam was fucking Black Aja. The loyalist women respected Silviana, and the Red Aja seemed to have accepted, at least in part, Egwene's offer of peace in choosing one of their own as her keeper. Of course, Egwene also had 2 stiff letters of disapproval, one from Ramonda and one from Lelaine, on the bottom of her stack. The 2 women had withdrawn their effusive support almost as quickly as they'd given it. Right now they were arguing over what to do with the Damane Egwene had captured during the raid, and neither one liked Egwene's plan to train them as Aes Sedai.
Why not?
Ramonda, and because
why
they're
are they all so against
they're
people being trained?
traditionalists.
Well, they're fucking dumb.
Yeah, you're not the right age. Well,
that's fucking stupid.
And Lelaine would trouble her for years yet, it appeared. For now, she didn't mind the room's sparse decorations. It reminded her a little too much of the study of the Mistress of Novices, but no number of wall hangings would banish her memory of those days. Not when Silviana herself was Egwene's keeper.
It is a little funny that it's like, remember when you spanked my ass?
You slapped the shit out of my ass.
Slapped my ass like a drum.
She smiled faintly, scanning the next of Silviana's reports, then she frowned.
So she is reading.
She is reading. Most of the Black Aja in the tower had escaped.
That sucks.
This report, written in Silviana's careful flowing script, told that they had managed to seize some of the blacks in the hours following Egwene's raising, but only the weakest of the lot. The majority of them, some 60 Black Sisters, had escaped, including one sitter, as Egwene had noticed before, whose name had not been on Varen's list. Evanellin's disappearance indicated strongly that she was black. Now, I'll be real, I don't remember a single fucking thing Evanellin has ever done. Do you?
No.
Let's look her up.
What the blue fuck has she done?
Who in the blue fuck is Evanellin? She doesn't have a page.
Well, there you go. So she's irrelevant.
She does not have a page on Encyclopedia Watt.
Evanellin, do better. Be more interesting.
If you don't have a page on Encyclopedia Watt,
you are truly irrelevant.
You are truly fucking nobody. Well, she showed up back in book 5. She wore a low-cut dress at Elida's meeting, and Elida thought, "Oh, this is the one who
whore." Yeah, that one.
Whore. That was her.
Okay, I thought she was at that meeting.
She thought she had a big ass.
Elida did?
No, Evanellin was worried that she had a big ass. She was very. I'm being
when did she
slightly
say this?
Facetious. She worried about the size of her bottom, though her worries were all in her head. She was very concerned about whether men and women saw her as beautiful, but was more concerned about women's opinions. She often wore the
A
latest fashions,
bisexual evil queen.
though only when she found them flattering. She
New
preferred
favorite character.
She preferred low-cut dresses.
New favorite character.
As she liked the shape of her bosom.
New favorite character. Evil bisexual.
I love this woman.
Evil bisexual who leans Kinsey 7.
After Swan was deposed, Evan became one of Elida's close confidants sitting in her council. She reported to the council that Amathera had suddenly disappeared. Yukiri reported that Evan was in favor of bringing down Elida.
You know what? Her lack of mention in the books is by erasure. They should be ashamed.
Yeah, no. She
could be a fan fucking favorite if she were on screen.
It looks like
more.
she showed up in Fires of Heaven and then Knife of Dreams and then Gathering Storm.
So she's been there, Gus.
So she's shown up roughly as many times as your girl.
One of her best magic abilities is invisibility.
Danelle. Allie, could Evan be Masana?
No.
Why?
Because it's Danelle.
Because it's Danelle?
Yeah.
But Allie.
Yeah. But
We haven't seen Danelle since book 5.
Until next book.
Has it been book 5? How long has it been since
All right.
we've seen Danelle?
Look up the next time we see Danelle.
I'm not looking up the next time we see Danelle.
Just for yourself. Just for yourself.
Why would I do such... Well, does she even have an Encyclopedia Watt page?
Yes, because she's Masana.
That's the question. Let's find out. The last time we saw her was in Crown of Swords. She showed up twice in Shadow Rising, once in Fires of Heaven,
Okay.
once in Lord of Chaos,
Your Honor.
once in Crown of Swords.
Masana's dress had scrolls on it. Who would wear a dress with scrolls on it? A brown. What is Danelle's? Fucking...
She's a brown.
There we go. Your Honor, I rest my case.
All right.
Your Honor, the prosecution rests.
Egwene picked up another report, frowning to herself. It was a list of all the women in the White Tower. An extensive list, several pages long, broken down by Aja. Many names had a notation beside them. Black, escaped. Black, captured. Taken by the Sean-chan. You know what? Another reason I have beef with Reddit, the only character who is like, fuck the Sean-chan, out and out, is Egwene.
Why you all like slavery?
I don't have beef with all of Reddit. I have beef with parts of Reddit.
I personally am against slavery.
Sharon, acting with foresight, had taken a census following the
I'm
attack
also against Nazis.
to determine
And I'm not afraid to admit it. We got an insane comment.
on the Babylon podcast.
We got an insane comment.
We did get an insane
That was
comment
insane to me.
on the Babylon 5 podcast.
I will never, ever not find that insane.
Listen, this is kind of relevant because we there's an episode where we talk about how Michael Straczynski's father was a Nazi. And
Which is horrifying.
it's quite upsetting. And we took umbrage with
It was
this.
that episode?
Yes.
That's even worse.
Yes, we talked about this extensively and how unfortunate that was. And then somebody commented, you guys need to like expand your worldview and understand, there are a lot of like really
Should I
good
read it?
people. No, maybe. Do you want to?
We can
Yeah, read the comment.
You guys need to read Ordinary Men and understand people who don't think like you. They were good men who were turned into Nazis in Poland. I really like, first of all, that's not a complete sentence. Oh, and understand people who don't think like you. Okay, I see. I really like watching when you guys stay on topic, but this paper-thin Hollywood-style bubble.
I love that.
Not liking Nazis is a Hollywood-style bubble. Water cooler level understanding about Nazis and politics is making me grind my teeth. And then in all caps, I'm going to keep watching because you guys are great, fun, and funny when you talk about the show. Heart emoji. What? 99% of the time, I love this stuff. I don't want you watching our stuff.
You know what
You're
happens?
an insane person.
You know what happens when good people become Nazis?
They're no longer
They're
good
no longer
people.
good people.
Like what? Sir, be fucking for real.
I just don't think that's something I'm willing to hot nuance.
I never.
I'm willing to hot
Literally
nuance
never.
a lot of shit.
I will not hot nuance slavery. I will not hot nuance racism. I will not hot nuance Nazis. Definitely not Nazis. Never.
No.
Never will I do that. What the fuck? are you talking about?
Anyway, yeah, slavery bad, Nazis bad. Sharon, acting with foresight, had taken a census following the attack to determine who exactly had been captured. Nearly 40 initiates, over 24 of them full Aes Sedai, snatched in the night and carried off. 40 Aes Sedai, Al.
Wow.
Bad.
Sucks.
Egwene had to steel herself from reaching up to feel her neck where the collar had held her. She wasn't focusing on that right now, burn it all. Egwene, once again, with her trauma well in hand, in many ways.
Yeah. She's doing her fucking best.
Blah, 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 blah. There's an Aes Sedai whose name is Chai. Like tea. Her name is Chai.
I kind of love that.
That's pretty cool.
Oh my god. We could get a dog and name it Chai. That'd be such a cute name for a puppy dog. Gosh, just Payday need our sibling.
No.
Does he? No, I can't handle another dog.
So how do you feel about a lot of Black Aja escaping?
That sucks. But we needed to do that for the plot.
We did need to do that to let them...
If we killed all the Black Aja, we'd be
there
like...
are 2 books left.
Yeah, we needed it for the plot.
But we have been complaining about not tying up plot threads.
Yeah, but this is one, like, if they don't have any magic women, that kind of depletes the tension.
That's real.
We do still need some magic people against them. Otherwise, it's like, okay. Now I feel like we're really going to get one on them. Because we got Meat Grinder Boy on the other side.
They'd captured 3 more Black Sisters who hadn't been on Varen's list. Only 3. What accuracy. Varen had proven herself once again.
Varen's amazing. She's the best. All hail Varen.
So about 80 Black Aja got out. And Egwene goes, I will find you, Alviarin. I will find you all. You were a rot within the tower itself. The worst kind of rot. I will not let you spread it. Once again...
So was Carlinia captured by the Black Aja? Is that what the Raven was about?
Carlinia, no.
Okay, so we still haven't figured that out.
I know what it's about, but I don't know if that's happened yet. Let me check.
Or is she a dark friend? Hilarious if so, because I clocked that so fast. Is it something lame, like a Raven caught at her?
Hang on. I'm trying to figure this out.
She's so high above me that you love me. She's so high. I'm
gonna refrain from talking about this for now. We can talk about it before too long, is what I'll say. Mm-hmm. You'll get some level of answer from me or from the books before too long. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Back to it. Carlinia still around, just chilling, hanging out with that viewing.
Okay.
Varen had believed that one of the Forsaken, Masana, was hiding in the tower. Sheriam's confession corroborated this. Egwene's task of reswearing every Aes Sedai had revealed no dark friends of great power. Hopefully the reswearing itself would ease the tension between the Ajas. They could stop worrying if there were blacks in their midst. Of course, it could vary... I hate the fucking phrasing, I know.
So bad.
Either way, Egwene had a problem. She looked over the sheet before her. Each woman in the White Tower had proven she was not a dark friend. Each woman on Varen's list was accounted for. She'd been executed, she'd been captured, she'd fled the White Tower on the day of Egwene's ascension, she'd been taken by the Seanchan, or she was out of the tower at the moment, and had been for some time. Perhaps they'd been lucky, and the Forsaken was one of those women who'd been taken by the Seanchan? But Egwene didn't believe in that kind of luck. One of the Forsaken would not be captured so easily. She'd probably known about the attack in the first place. All right, here we go. Ready? That left 3 names on the list in front of Egwene. Ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Nalacia Marin, a brown. Terramina, a green. And, drumroll, please. Gemalila Norshish.
Who?
A red.
Who are these people?
All were very weak in the tower, and the women on this list had all been in the tower for years. It seemed implausible that Masana had been impersonating one of them, and doing it so well that her subterfuge hadn't been
It's none of those
noticed.
3. It's Janelle.
Egwene had a feeling, a premonition perhaps, at the very least, a fear. These 3 names were the only ones who could have been the Forsaken, but none of them fit. Not at all.
Because it's Janelle.
That gave her a chill. Was Masana still hiding in the tower?
Yes.
If so, she somehow knew how to defeat the Oath Rod. And then Sylviana's like, hey...
You think she wouldn't know how to defeat the Oath Rod? She invented it, probably.
Hey, nah, she was wait.
I know.
She was a teacher, right?
Yeah.
She got denied tenure. That's why she swore in the dark.
I get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the most valid reason of them all.
So Sylviana busts in. What's
Yeah.
she want?
I forget.
She's like, hey, Ma, there's some crazy shit going on.
Oh, on Dragon Mount.
Crazy
Yep.
fucking shit happening. And Egwene's like, I'm reading a bunch of notes and getting depressed. She's like, yeah, that's cool. There's some crazy shit going on.
Come check this out. I need you to see this.
And
cool as fuck
she
in a
goes to
scary
the
way.
hall of the tower. Nobody's in there. There's some dudes who have been... what did she do? There's a big fucking hole blasted in the wall behind the seat. What is Egwene doing with that big fucking hole? Do you remember this?
Looking out.
Putting a stained glass window in there.
Oh, cool.
A rose window, but I assume that's stained glass.
Hell yeah. That with stained glass windows always the move.
So they get into the room. After all this time, the clouds had finally broken. They had pulled back in a ring around Dragonmount. The sun shone down, radiant, lighting the distant snow-capped crag. The broken maw and uppermost peak of the blasted mountainside were bathed in light. It was the first time Egwene could remember seeing direct sunlight in weeks, perhaps longer. Some novices noticed it
Girl,
first,
that's
Mother.
not good for you with that vitamin D levels.
And news spread quickly. Who would have thought that such a little ring of sunlight would cause such a stir? It's such a simple thing, really, nothing we haven't seen before, but... There was something beautiful about it. The light streaming down in a column, strong and pure, distant yet striking. It was like something forgotten, but somehow still familiar, shining forth from a distant memory to bring warmth again. What does it mean? Sylviana asked.
Our dog is ridged in his sleep.
Yeah, our dog's
Fully
back fur is
ridged.
fully ridged in his sleep. That's nuts. He must be having a dream.
You having a scary dream? Should I wake him?
If you want to, he'd probably be
Petey.
okay.
Petey, you look
And
scared.
he doesn't give a shit.
You're scared.
I don't know, Egwene said, but I welcome the sight of it.
Okay.
She hesitated. That opening in the clouds is too even to be natural. Mark this day on the calendar, Sylviana. Something has happened. Perhaps, eventually, we shall know the truth of it. Yes, Mother. Egwene stood with her, rather than returning to her study immediately. It felt relaxing to stare out at that distant light, so welcoming and noble. Storms will soon come, it seemed to say. But for now, I am here. I am here.
Nice. At the end of time, when the many become one, the last storm shall gather its angry winds to destroy a land already dying, and at its center a blind man shall stand upon his own grave. There he shall see again and weep for what has been wrought. The prophecies of the dragon, Asanic cycle, Malhavish's official translation, Imperial record, House of Sandar,
Shandar.
whatever. Fourth circle of elevation. The end of the 12th book of the Wheel of Time. Damn.
We got him.
Wow.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
One Brandon book done. How was it, Allie?
Excellent.
In retrospect.
Loved it. Loved
Pretty
it.
solid.
Definitely top 5.
Top 5?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else up there?
4 and 5.
4 and 5, yeah.
3.
You really have a soft spot for 3. It's not a bad book by any means. It's just curious.
It was like at the beginning. And
It was
fun.
early days.
And then this one. I think it's up there. Oh, and I like New Spring too.
New Spring is pretty cozy. Yeah, how is it in
How's what?
retrospect? How
I loved it.
You loved it.
Mm-hmm.
How's it compare looking at Robert versus looking at Brandon?
I kind of feel like we're cooking now.
We're kind of in the thick of it. We're kind of rolling.
Yeah, like I don't want to, because obviously there's complexities to why, the change took place and everything, but I definitely feel like we're ramping up toward an ending, and that feels nice.
I will be honest, second time through, I really do miss a lot of the more prosaic depth.
Well, there you go.
I am loving the plot advancement of these books, but I think the first time I read Gathering Storm, I was just like, oh my god, things are fucking happening again, and I just blasted through it. But I will say that while sitting down to discuss it, while it is still great, and I still really like this book, much more of our discussion focused around plot, which fine.
Good point.
It's good plot,
Good point.
but it's a little different. I still loved it
Yeah, me too.
second time through.
I loved it. I'm happy.
Would still take it over. It's top 4 for me still. It's still fucking great.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of beautiful moments.
Yep. I like it a lot. I'm sorry, I have to go bad.
No, I understand. We'll wrap this up shortly. Just a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
A couple more thoughts for you. Towers of Midnight coming up next.
Yeah.
Any predictions?
Not yet. I'm going to have a bingo sheet
You're gonna make
for
a
the next
bingo
episode.
for next week. We'll talk about it then.
But I think we're going to go get more rain.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Here's the book.
Damn. It's huge.
It's fucking massive. It
Jesus.
is physically one of the biggest ones. I got the shiny covers. So this is not the Daryl cover. And it's also not the fan cover.
It's a book I'm not allowed to read.
Well, now you can.
No, because I destroy books.
Oh, yeah. The
not
hardcover,
allowed
the
to
one that
touch
is signed by Brandon Sanderson
Yeah, I'm not allowed
and
to
personalized to
touch
me.
it.
No, you are not allowed to touch it.
I know.
Respectfully.
Yeah. I respect.
But you can look at
your
what
respect.
he signed, how he wrote.
Iron to buy.
For Gus, iron to bind.
Oh, we're going to go get the. We're getting our baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back.
Okay, wait. Do you want to hear the first sentence?
If it's not Moraine,
Do you want to hear the
I'm gonna
first
scream.
sentence?
What is it?
Prologue.
Okay.
Distinctions.
Okay.
Mandarb's hooves beat a familiar rhythm on broken ground as Lan Mandragoran rode toward his death.
Well, there you go.
It's a land chapter. You're not excited about a fucking land chapter?
I was hoping for a Moraine
We haven't
chapter.
seen the motherfucker in books.
Yeah, I'm excited
the
about
fuck?
that, but it's not a Moraine chapter.
Oh, come on. I thought you
Being
were
a
going to lose
choosing
it.
beggar.
I thought you were going to lose it.
I am losing it in a different way. Ow.
It's going to be good, man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any other thoughts on Gathering Storm, or do we wrap it up
I
here?
loved it.
Good shit, good times. Rand is through. Is Rand now going to become an enjoyable character to spend time with again?
I mean, as much as Rand can be enjoyable to spend time with. That's a joke. Don't come for me.
Well, hey, Allie. 13 books down,
The
including
Rand
Spring.
stands are as scary as the Swifties, you know?
Yeah. 2 to go.
2 to go.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. It's linked down below. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. And you can leave us a rating and a review if you want. Helps a lot. Other than that, anything else, Sally?
Duty's literally heavier than a mountain.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.